You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold and the Beautiful fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we have got your latest Bold and the Beautiful action to talk about. Hope is going to reject Liam's last-ditch ultimatum, is what we see coming very soon. We've got some hard spoilers and info to explain to you what's going into this big breakup that seemed certain, but then Steffy just talked Liam down, and now it seems like he may go back to Hope, and we know there's another thing coming. So there's definitely some to unpack. There's still story left to tell. Nothing seems like it's written in stone yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Before we dig in, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Bold and the Beautiful updates here at Soap Dirt on YouTube. All right, so right now, Steffy Forrester has Liam Spencer sort of thinking that he might need to reconsider leaving Hope Logan. But part of what is going on with Steffy and her conversations with Liam, to me, feel like self-preservation. The bottom line is Steffy does not want Liam sniffing around her house and screwing up her marriage to Finn. They referred to a conversation between Steffy and Liam in Italy that viewers never heard. And she was saying that in Italy, I told you this couldn't happen again. And then he's come back to her house and kissed it again. We didn't get to see that conversation. Maybe it was footage they cut and they should have thought about that before they mentioned it, or they just decided not to film it and are just referring to this off-screen convo. But the bottom line is, Liam expected to scream divorce at Hope and then run over and reclaim his ex-wife, Steffy. But it didn't go like that. It didn't go like it usually does for him. Instead, Steffy rejected him and made it very clear that Finn's her man. She wrote him kind of a reality check. And Liam is reeling because this is nothing that has happened to him before. He's always had at least 2, sometimes 3 women after him, Hope and Steffy, both, and then occasionally Ivy, and then at one point a 4th woman, Sally Spectra. So, Liam thinks that he's somehow, just this ultimate guy that all the women want. And unfortunately, some women in his life have reinforced that, the 4 we just named being all of them. And, I think this is good for Liam. It's good for his ego because he has way too much ego on his own. I mean, that's not helped by being Dollar Bill's son because Dollar Bill, I don't think he can squeeze his ego onto his yacht, right? So also, as part of this Liam and Steffy little frank conversation, she also encouraged Liam to go home and work it out with Hope. That way, really, it's better for Steffy because then he's Hope's problem and not hers. Because if he's not with Hope, he's going to keep showing up and being some sort of threat to her marriage. And Steffy is clearly over him. And for those fans who never wanted Steffy back with Liam, this is kind of a watershed moment where she's like, kick rocks, go back to your wife, but don't come here. I'm married. I'm happy. Don't need you. And it was just kind of like, yeah, it was a fist bump moment to watch that. But Hope is still in this situation where she's ready to beg him to come back. So the good thing is that Steffy planted some seeds that Hope could leave Forrester Creations and Thomas could just kind of keep designing and keep things going. But there's no reason that Hope has to be there. She's not a Forrester. And Liam had just said, no, I think it's over, but he's still thinking, all right? And Steffy also reminded him that Hope Logan forgave him for doing worse. And there's also spoilers indicating there's one last conversation to come between Liam and Hope, one last showdown before things splinter finally. So this talk with Steffy was on Monday, and then Tuesday it's a rerun, and then Wednesday, July 5th, Wyatt basically tells Liam the same thing. Go back to Hope. Go work out your marriage. You have kids together. This is stuff that was seen in the Bold and Beautiful weekly promo. You can check our Bold and Beautiful playlist to see that if you haven't seen it already. It's really good. So with Steffy's rejection ringing in Liam's ears, will Liam offer Hope one last opportunity to win him back? Because what a prize he is. What a prize Liam is. We should all fight for the honor of having Liam in our house being judgmental, vegan, tree-hugging, just painfully egotistical, painfully hypocritical. All right, I won't keep slinging adjectives at him. I think you guys know what I think about Liam. But really, if it's Hope, it's kind of insulting, right? That he might circle back around and go, here's one last chance for you to prove that you might be worthy of me reconsidering things. You know, he feels like he's got this moral high ground and all this, and he doesn't. He's done so much worse to Hope, running around, you know, doing all his nonsense, and worse to Steffy too. I mean, let's be clear. He's not a good partner to anybody. And even actor Scott Clifton, who plays him, admits that Liam is a crap husband, and he shudders at some of the stuff that he has to do on the soap. So let's be clear. Scott Clifton is camp Liam's a jerk too. So it's not just me. All right. So basically, you know, Liam thinks he's going to give her some kind of last chance, but only if she caves to what I think most of us would consider harsh terms. Other people might not consider them harsh terms, but I think Liam may listen to Steffy, listen to Wyatt, go back over there and go, okay, if you do A, B, and C, then you can possibly have a chance to warm my bed again. Yay. So I think Liam will definitely want her to either fire Thomas permanently, which she can't do. She could accept or reject Steffy rehiring Thomas, but Hope is not a CEO at Forrester Creations. Her last name is not Forrester. Not yet, but it might be at one point if Liam keeps going down this road. But right now, she's not yet a Forrester. I think he's going to tell her, you have to walk away from Hope for the future or fire Thomas. Well, she's not going to want to do that, even though she feels really guilty about kissing Thomas, even though she doesn't understand why she's drawn to Thomas and why she's doing these things. And really, I think that it's going to be down to, he may even tell her, you know, Steffy is the one who told me that Thomas could just run the line without you. So he may make it out like this was Steffy's idea and he's just there delivering this ultimatum on behalf of Steffy. You know, it's going to be really weird. But I do not think that Hope is going to give up her namesake line, Hope for the future. And Liam is just going to say, you just have to walk away from anything to do with Thomas. All things Forrester are out of your world forever. I think that's going to be the terms that he finds acceptable, in addition to her apologizing, crying, kowtowing, kissing his butt for the next, 5 years. So, although Hope begged Liam to forgive her, I really think it's unlikely that she's going to cave to his ultimatums. You know, even if you can understand, oh, you don't want your wife working with the guy that she has the hots for, sure. But I still don't think she's going to cave to those ultimatums. And she rejected them before, even though she knew he was really upset, and even he kept telling her how upset he was. Or if Hope is willing to consider the ultimatums, but just pauses too long to think about it for too long, for what Liam decides is too long, he could blow up at her again. So the upcoming spoilers for this situation are July 6th and 7th, which is Thursday and Friday. Liam makes a tough choice, and then Liam's caught in a heartbreaking situation. So I think the tough choice is, I have to divorce my wife, and I think the heartbreaking situation might be something where he's like, oh, I got to say goodbye to the kids. I got to pack my stuff. I really have to go. Then a spoiler for the week of July 10th is one relationship ends as a new one begins. There are no other new relationships that we know about. They could pull RJ's new girlfriend out of the modeling, corral at Forrester Creations. But aside from that, Brooke and Ridge's relationship already rebooted back in Italy, so it's not them. And there's no other relationships that are percolating, right? Unless they are going to pull something out of their butts to serve to us the week of July 10th, it has simply got to be that Hope and Thomas are rising on the ashes of Hope and Liam. And part of that is a spoiler photo that we've seen for this week where, unless they put it up a week early, but this week or next, something momentous between Hope and Thomas. So will Hope just snap and decide that she shouldn't be begging Liam like this? She never put him through this much grief when he did things to her before in the past, when he was unfaithful, when he was running around. And then we have this spoiler photo showing Hope at Thomas's place and they're kissing again. So unless one of them is imagining it, it just seems like with all the spoilers and that spoiler photo, this is done. And the bottom line, whether it's Hope or Liam, who calls it quits, Thomas and Hope are starting next week as far as everything points to on the spoilers. But we do have one idea on why Hope might reject what her husband is saying, even after she begged him to give her another chance. We're going to talk about that in 1 second, but if you haven't already, please reach down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Bold and Beautiful updates and spoilers. And click a like if you enjoyed this video. All right. So what I am still wondering is whether, as part of this final showdown, and if Liam is saying, look, it was Steffy's suggestion, it was the CEO's suggestion that Thomas could take over and you're fired. And Hope might say, okay, well, you were just here arguing with me. When did you see Steffy? And he can say, oh, well, I talked to Wyatt and then I went to Steffy's house. And she's going to be like, okay, you ran to Steffy like you always do. Did anything happen? And he may actually say, because Liam still thinks he has the moral high ground, which he's deluded about that, he might actually say, oh, well, yeah, I kissed her, and that might be all Hope hears. So I definitely think Finn's going to find out about this kiss, and if Liam blabs it to Hope in the heat of the moment, that could be it. So that could be like A, the deal breaker for her, and then B, prompts her to do something about letting Finn know what happened. But that could be the deal breaker that has Hope say, you know what, Liam, pack your crap and go, and I'm going to go see my new boyfriend. What do you guys think?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.